Zola, and today I decided to make a video for YouTube of me repainting an old canvas of mine before I found my style. So as you can see right here, this is an old canvas of mine that I made back in 2021 when I decided to take art more professionally. And since I didn't like how it turned out back then, I'm going to repaint it today. So the first thing I'm going to do is literally put out my paint towel, and I do this for all my canvases. Everybody's studio is different. My studio is in my room, so I gotta make use to what I can get. So I'm gonna lay down the canvas onto the towel. For starters, you don't want to make any messes. Then I will bring out some paint and some brushes. I usually use the small brushes for most of my canvases, but since this is a big one, I'm using the big one today. The first thing I'm going to do is shake up the paint to make sure that it's not diluted. Open it up, get it set and ready. And also, remember, check your canvas to make sure that there isn't any floating debris on it. Then pour out a reasonable amount of paint on the canvas to cover the full surface. Now the next thing I have to pay attention to is that there's going to be excess paint on my canvases. So what I usually do, I open the bottle of paint back up, and then I will scrape off any excess paint with my brush back into the bottle, so I won't be wasting any product, but also this will help me get a more smoother look on the canvas instead of making it look all bumpy and weird. A smooth canvas is the best thing that I have learned that will help me with repaints or any fresh new canvas. So after an hour of letting it dry, as you can see, it's all good. It looks great. It looks smooth. The next thing I'm going to do is pull out my sketchbook, because my sketchbook has the master plan of how I wanted to repaint my canvas. As you can see, I got the Obey stickers on there. Shout out to Shepherd Fairley or Farley. And so we're going to open up my book and see what I have. As you can see, I have a few little doodles in there. And it's not going to be always great when you're doing a rough draft. That's why it's called rough draft, so don't judge me, okay? But I pointed out everything that I need on here, from the colors to how I want her body to be, to how I want her face to be, everything. And it can change up during the process, and that's okay. So the tools that I use would be pencils, a pencil sharpener, sometimes a protractor, and an eraser. And this will help me trace out or outline what I want before painting. So let's get started real quick. Alright, so as you can see, I'm going to go based off the head, because that's how I always start, and I'm going to trace out the body onto the canvas. Everything in this book will help me and be my guideline. But you know, I don't always really follow my own guidelines when I first plan out the sketchbook or the sketch for the canvas, and that's okay. There's always going to be hiccups, and there's always going to be changes. That's why art is very, very flexible. So now you see me erasing everything that I did, and it's because I didn't like the position of how I put the body on the canvas. So it's okay to do that, and it's very okay to do this before any paint has been applied. Do not harsh yourself on this. Please don't, because I do this a lot. So now you see this. This is how the end result looks like after I erase and made everything brand new again, and I honestly liked it. So now I'm gonna have to bring out something else for everybody. My Posca markers. I use these to outline everything in my art. I usually use Posca markers and acrylic. And today we're going to use the white marker just to outline everything, and I thought it would be a good color to use. Alright, after outlining everything, this is how it all turned out. And I thought it looked pretty solid. Everything was in place, everything looked smooth to my, opinion. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to bring out the paint. And we're going to have to choose the colors on here. So I already planned out the color palette on my sketchbook, and you'll just be seeing me pick them out one by one, which is fine. So dark pink and light pink. I did turquoise. I did teal, peacock blue, orange, yellow, sage green, lavender, and vanilla. I'm also going to incorporate my Posca markers as well as like I do for every other canvas of mine. Then I'll bring out my paint brushes and 2 cups of water, which makes it easier on my part so I can continue my work with ease. So now I'm about to paint the base color onto the canvas. And I know this color isn't part of the palette that I originally put, but it's okay. You can add, you can subtract. It's your painting. So let's get started. So now that I added the base color, as you can see, I can now show you the process of how I added all the different colors that I used for the palette. So here's a little montage of pictures. Bye! After seeing all that progression, you can see the full painting as it is right now. And it still kind of needs some work on it, because as an artist, I'm very nitpicky with my stuff. So like for example, around the chest area, I can realign over there and get the white lines to look perfect. Around the leg area, I can re-smooth the lines down there as well, which isn't bad, but I'm a perfectionist. And then on the shoulder area, you can see how the teal or turquoise is overlapping with the body outline. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring out the white Posca marker, and then also I'm going to bring out my so-called calligraphy brush that I always use for this. This is one of my favorite brushes that I use for painting. Alright, so after being a semi-perfectionist now, I can see no mistakes in my eyes with it. So now we're going to have to focus on more of the face. As you can see, the face, I love doing makeup and doing eyebrows, eyes and stuff. That's my favorite part of painting for any of my paintings. But also the body looks bland, and so we're going to have to add something with that. And I'm going to use my Posca markers to add a little flair to the body instead of making it look so dull as it is. Because nobody doesn't want to look at that. I don't. So I added a golden heart, and I'm probably going to make it bigger. And as you can see, I used my Posca marker because the gold paint that I use is so bad. So this is why I use Posca. It's acrylic paint also. So what we're going to do is we're going to add a whole nervous system to the body and make sure it looks good. Mind you, this is not an accurate representation of the nervous system. This is my interpretation after looking at Pinterest. And I think it turned out pretty good. Let's look. So I love how it looks. It looks beautiful, it looks smooth and sleek, and nothing wrong with it. I'm not going to correct it. Everything looks fabulous. So now I have to concentrate on the face. And the face is my favorite part. So I'll be right back. So after adding the face, I also added some hair too, and a little bit of designs around the head. And honestly, I thought it turned out pretty good. The whole concept that I had was basically called "The Cosmos Ooze is Eating the Human." And as you can see, it looks pretty good to me. You can see the two sides, the human as the brown side, and then you see the cosmos as the blue side, and you can see how the hair and everything just matches with both sides. And so far, I fell in love. And so I finished this painting. So I hope y'all had a great experience with me. Bye-bye.